Thank you for tuning in to Today I Got Time. Welcome, welcome. With your girl, V and Mo. How you doing over there, Mo?
I am doing great. I got a different setup today. I got a different vibe. I got a different area. But still here. Today I got
Okay, you better be giving us different geographical locations. I know that's right. I am feeling great. I am so glad we are literally trucking through these podcast episodes, and I love that for us. Toast to us continuously making these episodes so the listeners can tune in and realize that there are some real bitches out here in the motherfucking world. On today's episode, we are talking about the version of me you keep expecting that doesn't exist anymore. This episode is about growth. And I hope you motherfuckers are ready for that. Because sometimes people have us in their mind in a certain period that Mo and I have talked on previous episodes on our podcast. That sometimes people just have us in a period back when they knew us way back when. Not mature, prosperous, voluptuous, bad bitches that we are. Amen. Let's take one time for my friend in this cute ass little outfit. Amen. Amen. I know that's right. And you giving us something.
I'm still that girl.
Amen.
Girl, I lie. Okay.
Amen.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'm interested in the conversation today because people still expect you to be a certain way. So people can still people still think that you're going to be a certain type of person and not considering time frame, age, maturity, frontal lobe development,
right.
like all of these like real like logical physical things that are transpiring in your life every single day. So because these
Absolutely.
transpiring, still expecting you to be like who you were when you were 21 or when you were 16 or when you were 35 or when you were 42. They want you to still be that person, and when you're that person consistently, there's no growth. You should never be the same person that you were 5 years ago,
10 years ago,
10 years.
6 months ago. I feel like there should be internal growth within a couple of months. What did you learn differently? Did it work for you? No. Let's change that habit. Amen. And this goes across the board with family ships, with friendships, with relationships. This goes across the board. Like, have you ever had a sibling that always thought of you as the younger or littler or whatever, and they keep you in this sibling mode? So it's like, oh, I remember you as a little tot. And it's like, yeah, motherfucker, but eventually that little tot grows up.
Right.
And or relate friendships where you've known somebody for 10 plus years, but or 15 plus years or whatever, and they still think of you as that same girl that they met back in your 20s and think that you're that still party girl, not realizing you have children, you matured, you grown up, and that's, yeah, I can party, but let me find a babysitter, let me get myself situated, let me
and or let me let my, because you get married.
Right, and relationships. That's what I was about to endure. Relationships where somebody thinks that, again, you're that same individual that they got with. So the expectation, because we talked about those, is not there to where they're not realizing as we grow in our relationships. Now that we've been together for 8 years, 10 years, 12 years, 15 years. I'm not that same girl that you met back in 2000 and I don't know, 11.
Right.
I met you in 2015 or whatever, because I've grown. I've got hit with the times. Again, I've had children. I've real life has been affecting me to where now,
whatever.
I'm evolving.
Absolutely. Whatever the situation occurs in your life or whatever, because you could just have an awakening moment one a moment,
Mm-hmm.
one day. Nothing actually has to transpire where you decide that you want to be better. Nothing actually has to like physically transpire in your life where it's negative or positive, where you say, you know what, I want better for myself. You can just wake up one day and say, hey, you know what, I'm cool on this apartment. I ain't never missed rent. I ain't never had no issues in this place, but I want something better. I want something better.
Absolutely.
I want something better for my dog. Hell, I want to sit on the patio and I ain't got no patio. So now I want to do something different. I want to get something more.
Mm-hmm.
People
Mm-hmm.
evolve and change. So I have a question for, you. And let's go ahead and kick off our conversations. As we
Okay. Let's kick it off.
why do you why do people struggle when you change?
Um, again, like I've said, I think people have this in the box mentality, right? And I think that when people put you in a box that they believe that you can never surpass this box, right? So whether that be, I'm going to use our military career, right? Whether that ever be they never thought you could pass, they never thought we could pass a PT test,
Absolutely.
or they never thought that we can pass you know at shooting, or they never thought that, whatever them circumstances may be, you never thought that I can surpass this because you put me in this box where you thought that I was only limited to whatever, right? Instead of, again, we talked about this before, instead of thinking the best of me
Mm-hmm.
and saying, hey, maybe it just takes her a little bit of time. Maybe she'll, eventually she'll get it, or they will get it, or he will get it, or whatever, right? I think that it's hard for people to see change because they either they never thought that you would get out of that box, or they never thought better of you to surpass what they saw you as. So either or, it shows the lack of potential and or respect that I think that people tend to show their hand. And when, again, people limit you, that's how I perceive it. That's why it's like, oh my God, you were able to buy your home. You were able to get a new car. You were able Really? You're able to do and take trips, and you're able, and it's like
I think for
they
me, I think the struggle comes in when pollution happens, right? It has always happened. It's just a part of life. People evolve. It's just gonna happen. You can't control it, you can't stop it, it doesn't matter. But I think people struggle with change in individuals that they're close to or that they know personally. Because like you said, they always kept you in this box. They always kept you here in this place. So because they kept you in this place and they kept you in this box, it's like, well, why do you get to do this? Or what do you mean you're doing this? Or why do you feel like you or it could almost be as a resentment or like a jealousy thing. Like true colors really start to come out when you start to change for the better of yourself, and you don't start worrying about what other people got to say. You don't care about what anybody else got to say. I'm doing this for me and mine. Oh, for me, hell, it ain't got to be about no kids, no family, no dog, no cat, no job, no nothing. I know what's best for me. If I decide today I want to wake up and go move to Thailand, and someone decide or motherfucker get thinking, well, why she thinks she better than us because she moved to Thailand? I never thought that I was better than you because I moved to Thailand. That was a decision I made for me. You never thought that I was going to move to Thailand. You never thought I was capable of moving to Thailand. That was your problem. That was a personal problem. Like people don't understand. They have to separate like their own personal issues from what reality is, right? Guess nobody. I never underestimate what someone's capable of actually doing. But I, I'm not. I'm also not a hating ass bitch. So
Yeah, so that's really the thing, because I feel like when people think that you think that you're better than, it clearly shows that you think that I'm better than. It's not something that I have to say. It's something that you're perceiving through my actions. And because you didn't know that I was better than, it's surprising to you. It's almost like, oh, and that's why you are in the position you're in. Because when jealousy and envy is low key a sub trait of yours, it doesn't really work out in your favor. That's why everybody is above you and you're subpar.
Right,
You
absolutely.
dig?
Right. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't consider myself better than anyone, but the tools I utilize, the resources I utilize them. Like I utilize what's in front of me to get to where I need to be, and I'm going to continue to do so to continue to strive and, and climb this ladder. Right. So when other individuals are like envious of the growth, for me is not because I don't want to believe, and it's because I'm an empath, right? But I don't want to believe because you think I'm better than. Like I don't think I'm better than. I use my resources, and I'm gonna give you these same resources. If you ever call me, ask me, say, "Hey, hey, how you made that move? What? How you did that?" I'm gonna tell you how I did it. I'm gonna tell you CDE.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you exactly how I did the move because I want you to make the move too because I know the move is gonna make your life better. My life already good. I'm already up one, two, three, four, five
5, 6,
rows.
6, 7.
For real. But if you need to know how to make the move, I can tell you how to make the move. I ain't never better than nobody. I ain't never thinking I'm better than nobody. I ain't never thinking that any position that I've ever been put in, I've been better than somebody. I've utilized my resources. But if you have envy, hatred, all of those things,
Jealousy, malice,
malice in your,
green eye, whatever however you want to
it's gonna
label it.
you're gonna always be set back. It don't matter if somebody give you the blueprint or not. They give you the blueprint right now. You still, because you envious of that person, you're not gonna utilize the blueprint correctly. You're not gonna utilize them correctly. You're not gonna take it and do what you need to do with it. So, why do people expect the old version of you?
Because comfortability. Point blank, period. Comfortability. You're comfortable with the old, turn up, ratchet, eh, whatever goes along with that, right? Because that's what I gave you, right? I'm not gonna act like I didn't live that lifestyle. I did. It is what it is. But because I matured, I grew up, I had children, I have
The
shit I can lose. I'm more of a liability now. Like shit is more of I weigh out my pros and cons. I can't be as reckless as I want to be. um People think, oh, well, you know, I still remember you when you didn't give a fuck. And I still remember when you da da da. And again, I said, I still don't give a fuck, but it's to a certain extent because, again, they don't serve seafood boils in jail. And I cannot raise my 2 boys in jail. So I have to give a fuck to a certain extent that behooves you to where you can see another day and I can see another my boys to live another day. You feel me? Like I can't fuck around with the fuck around. People expect the old version because it's easy for them to be like, oh, well, I remember when you used to lash out, and I remember you again. It's always, I think when people think that, it's always something negative. I don't think that, unless you're telling me something positive about the old days, I think when people think about the old days, it's almost like you're expecting something different. Like you're expecting me to still be that same old.
right, whomever you were, right, however many years ago that was, right, however many
Right.
days ago, because you could have been a crackhead yesterday, but today you know what? I ain't doing crack no more. I don't want to do the crack no more. I'm cool on the crack, but you still got a group of crackhead friends who want you to do the crack. But if the crackhead friends can't respect and understand that you no longer, obviously, the crackhead friends are not going to accept and respect the crackhead, literally for
So
training
you might need to change your surroundings.
for training purposes only. The crack friends are not going to accept and respect the fact that you don't want to do crack no more. So you have to go find you a new group of friends. They're never, it doesn't matter if you knew these folks 15, 20 years, for training purposes only, for that scenario, right? For that instance. But I
Right, right,
always I had to put that out there because I had said crackhead. And I'm like, ooh, it might be a couple crackheads watching it.
right. Absolutely. No shade. Shout out to y'all. And overcoming your addiction.
Right, absolutely. Because it's always a way out. And then any day you can decide that you don't want to do this anymore. And it's a better life.
Right, right, right.
And it's a better life on the other side. And we waiting on you over here.
Okay.
Never,
Soberly.
nevertheless, I think people expect the old version of you. I agree with you, with what you said as well. But I think people expect the old version of you if they never met the transformed version of you. If they never met that part of you, if they never experienced that part of you, if they didn't see the process, right? Like it's a process, right? We had to go through the process.
Right, 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 right.
Like the chilling out on the club, chilling out on the drinking, locking in with our families, locking in our education, locking in on our finances, locking in. Like we had to go through this process. So if they did not experience the process, for from beginning, middle, or end, they won't. They're not going to understand why you are who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Important that the people that you keep around you are going to be for lifers, right? Because you don't want to keep having to go explain to somebody that I did do crack 10 years ago, but I'm not a crackhead no more. Because they didn't see the process.
Right.
They didn't see the process. They didn't see the rehab. They didn't see the rehabilitation. They didn't see how you got off of it. And you gave your life to Christ, and you did this and you did that. They didn't see that. They just saw you today, and then when you get to telling them your story, they're like, "Oh my God, she was a crackhead. She's probably still is doing crack." No, bitch, I'm not. You expect for me to still be the crackhead. I'm not, and I hate to use that as an example, but it could be anything. It could be, alcohol. It could be anything, any substance or any type of mental or emotional, what's the word I'm looking for? Like something that brings you down, like something that just keeps you like down.
It doesn't necessarily have to be I don't want to say a disorder, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a negative annotation behind it. It can be because you thought high of yourself and people thought that you were a know-it-all, and you always thought that you was a bad that bitch all the time. And again, I'm not saying that's bad about you, because bitch, if you don't think you're the baddest bitch, then who the fuck else is gonna think you're the baddest bitch?
Right.
So I understand in that aspect, but at the same time, people get killed over shit like that.
Absolutely.
People get killed when they think that, whoa, you're too ahead of yourself. Wait, you're not better than me. So again, the crab in the barrel mentality. I think that some people have it. Some people want to see people change, and some people don't. Some people are comfortable again with the way that you gave it up because it's familiar to them in whom that person was, and it's relatable. They don't want to know this new version of you because that would make them accountable. The word of the year.
I
Accountable.
I got the mirror.
Accountable.
Because how did you change? And we were so alike. And I agree with you. And I was you were relatable to me. And I could understand what you was doing. Now I can't. Yeah, you got to look at yourself now because somebody decided at some point that it's time for change. So I agree. I definitely believe that people expect the old version of you for a multitude of reasons, but it's never too late to change. It's never
Absolutely.
have a different mindset. So, have you found the need to be responsive or reactive or neither?
I found the need to be whatever life it throws my way. Okay? Because I just feel like sometimes the again, the growth, right? Because this episode is about growth.
Right.
Sometimes I find myself ready to be reactive, right? And it's like, who is that behooving? How is that benefiting me? And then sometimes I find myself wanting to be responsive because I'm also that type of individual. Like, you're gonna hear what I fuck have to say. You're gonna hear me. But then I've also learned that sometimes no response is the best response. So I gotta figure out
No,
amongst the
I'm on
three
that, no, I'm on that same band.
which is better behooving of me to the situation, because I can't react all the same
Right.
with all the same responses. I can't do it. I can't afford to do it.
Absolutely.
Again, I say they do not have seafood boils. And the one thing I do when I live these 30 days and I get that good old check is go get a seafood boil. So I can't, if I cannot do that in 30 days, every 30 days, 29 days, 28 days in February.
Okay. To the
Shout out to Black History Month. But nevertheless, if I can't do that, I don't. And I also feel like sometimes people do things to provoke that
absolutely.
side
That's
of who I was.
right. So that's where, the question comes in, because have you found the need to be responsive or reactive or neither? You have to decide, like, and understanding that sometimes people will bring that reactive side of you, the trauma, right? Now I'm reactive because I'm triggered by what you just said.
Right,
I
right, right, right,
because I think you about to put your hands on me. I think you about to cuss me out. Or I think you about to say some slick shit. Or I think you about to take my money. Or right, etc.
right, right, right.
I gotta be reactive. I gotta react now, or I gotta be responsive to the disrespect because you're disrespecting me and trying to be, cordial and understanding to the disrespect, but you're doing the absolute. Now I gotta respond to it. And however a response may look, right? Because you can respond to it and still be polite and I ain't gonna say understanding, but you can still be um straight and narrow with your response.
Mm-hmm.
For me,
Forward.
right forward. But for me at this point, I don't want to be responsive or reactive. I want to be like a meme, a mime. What? Because what the fuck is we talking about? I don't care. I don't want to respond. I don't want to react because, like you said, the reactions that I may give at this point in my life may end me up in cell block D. Okay, and the responses that I may give may be overly emotional or
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
for a motherfucker that's dumb as fuck and can't even catch the motherfucker response. So now I'm doing I'm giving you the knowledge, you still ain't. I'm giving you the key, you still ain't opening the door with the key. Responded to the problem, not responded to the situation, and you're still not utilizing it, and you're still not using it well. For me, it may lead to a reactive response. Actually, I done way now I gotta react to the bullshit because you trying me, playing me, and I try to be nice. So no, absolutely. I definitely agree. But I find the need um I find the need to be reactive right now, generally and just realistically, like just us girlfriend talking. I am reactive because I have not learned how to not be. Like I'm still practicing this, right? Like I know the steps, I know what to do, I know how to make this not happen, but I'm still practicing, I'm still a work in progress, so I am very reactive. So the moment I feel disrespected, the moment I feel triggered, the moment I feel any of these emotions that I know that's going to cause a reaction, I'm going to give it to you. I'm not even going to play with you. And don't let it be that time of the month. You're going to get that shit times 10. Your mama might get it. So it's best everybody just stay the fuck away. Absolutely. So, have people ever made you feel guilty for changing?
Yeah.
Mm.
But the only thing about that is it's only guilt if I gave a fuck, right? You can't make me feel bad about growing, right? You can't make me feel bad about changing my ways because that's what I see it as. Like you're trying to guilt trip me into making me believe that this newer version of me for the better, right? Because people can be manipulative and say that they changed, but it's not for the better. So when I say I changed for the better, I mean it's conducive to other relationships, i.e., more communication skills, i.e., more empathetic skills, i.e., more uh astute inferences.
Right.
In the sense to where I can be more compassionate towards my fellow human, right? My fellow man. Um in that sense, I feel like you cannot make me feel bad about growth because this is where I'm supposed to be. I feel like I'm in line. Like this
Right.
is the line. And when I am growing, I feel like I can be a better friend, I can be a better wife, I can be a better mother, I can be a better individual, I can be a better fucking tax paying fucking human. I can be all these things when I grow and learn to be a better person. If you're going to make me feel guilty about trying to be better, it's because again, you want me to be stuck in this box and or you don't want me to pinpoint the fuckery you got going on.
Absolutely. Because
And again, the word of the year, accountability.
oh my God.
You don't want me to hold you accountable because while I'm growing, you're still staying stagnant and you still want me to believe that because of your upbringing, because of how you grew up, because of where you came from, this is who you are. This is what we're all supposed to believe that this is all we're supposed to get.
Yeah,
I can't deal with that. I can't function with that. As a matter of fact, I can't even be in the same room with that. It's suffocating me.
absolutely.
I can't do nothing with that because there's nothing wrong with growth. There's nothing and this is for the listeners. This is for everybody that is tuned into Today I Got Time. If somebody is making you feel crazy, feel out of place, making you guilt tripping you to making you believe that because you see the bigger picture or because you can your peripheral can see everything and or the big one, this is the big one, the knocker, your frontal lobe is developed. If they are making you feel off because you're probing, you're questioning, you're not so easily eager to go down that rabbit hole with them, question their motives.
Right. Right.
Question what is their prerogative behind this? Where are you going with this? What is your thought process behind this? Where is your intuition in all of this? Like where do you see this leading up to? And if you don't have a plan behind that, that's immediately a red flag to let you know that they are fast down a fucking with gasoline draws down a shithole fucking tunnel.
Okay.
Immediately.
Right. And she hold
Immediately.
pass don't pass go the bullshit lane. Do you believe that growth is lonely?
Absolutely. Well, I take that back. Let me retract my statement. I think growth can be lonely, but again, this is where your team can or may, whoever makes the cut, okay, at this point. Because growth can be lonely, but if you have people that are willing to see you grow and are willing to get on the bandwagon, whichever train track they get in, whatever, wherever they come in,
Right.
whatever fucking cart they're in,
Okay.
But they're in that bitch with you and willing to ride this train with you to Istanbul, then I think that those are the people that matter.
Right.
Those are the people that matter because they see what you don't see. They know what you don't know. And I mean what they for you and for themselves. Maybe they need, because again, we can get biblical. Maybe they need to see somebody like Moses to part the Red Sea and be like, "Hey, let me go with this brother man
Yeah.
because he has some knowledge here." And on the other side, I can pick it up from there. You feel what I'm saying? Like, just in that aspect.
I believe that growth can be lonely, but it also depends on who you're doing it for. When you make that distinction between who I'm actually doing this for, am I doing this because I want to get my family back, or I want my children to be
Right.
proud of me, or I want to be proud of my. And when you make that distinction about who you're growing
Right.
for, it will make it a lot easier for you to not even recognize the loneliness, because it doesn't matter if the whole world and the community and everybody else is against you. You know
Right.
that you have to do for yourself. Like growth is not linear. Lean,
Okay.
like it
Oh,
will always fluctuate. It will
okay.
always grow or it will decline. And
Mm-hmm.
regard
Mm-hmm.
and depending on how you view it, it will depend on if it's going to go up or down.
Mm-hmm.
If you
Mm-hmm.
don't view it, if you don't view growth as something that is uh uh that should happen all the time, like 6 months, 3 months, 2 weeks, 2 years, 6 months, 6 years, then you're gonna have a hard time understanding people when they are a different person every 6 months, or
Mm-hmm.
they're doing different things and they're not talking about the same shit they would. Like, you're gonna have a hard time believing it.
All in all, we want you guys to know that growth should not be something you fear. You should not veer away from. You should actually lean towards
Absolutely.
growth. And whereas there's growth, there's maturity. And you will be able to look back and see and say,
Right. This is where I was. This is where I. This
"What the fuck was I thinking?"
exactly. But not only what the fuck was I thinking, but this is where I was in my life at this point where I had that turnaround. Right. I had that light bulb go off. Bing. This apartment only got one way in, one way out. I ain't got no patio. I can't got no service. I can't call nobody. It might be time for me to go ahead and move into something else. Yeah, the something else may cost more, but hey, I can afford the something else and enjoy myself. Like, but instead of having people believe that you should still be in the apartment or situation where it don't really serve you, you got to keep those. You got to do what you need to do for you. Don't do what you need to do for nobody else. This comes from TT. Don't do not base it off of nobody else. Don't even base it off the kids. Hey, look, let me tell you something. Don't
Sometimes you gotta be selfish.
don't even base it off the children. If you're a great parent, mother or father, guardian, whomever, you're always going to be that. It's never going to end. But when you get to making decisions and you get to like trying to grow and transform your life into a new life and um fit into these kids' standards, you'll never fit into them. I'm gonna do what I need to do for you. I'm gonna do what I need to do for us. I'm gonna make that decision now. It ain't got nothing to do with you. And they ain't never gonna ask no questions. I ain't never gonna ask you either. I'm gonna do exactly what I need to do. So I think that once people realize that part and they realize like, hey, you don't have to um, have that mindset where I'm doing it for somebody else. I'm growing
Mm-hmm.
for someone else. I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing something for someone else. I need to be in this different pool now because of someone else. You need to
Right, right, right,
do what you need to do for yourself. It doesn't always have to
right.
jump from fucking 0 to 100. It can be the jump from 0 to 1.5.
Not the 1.5.
Job position. This is what I'm saying. Like, I applied for that new job position. Because I've been working here for 10 years. Yeah, I want to be manager now.
Growth.
Grow. Like, you can do it. Anybody can do it. So don't ever hold yourself back.
And also with growth, I want you to know that it's okay for people to fall to the wayside. With growth, people will fall to the wayside. People will fall to the wayside. We want you to know that's because they did not see the potential. They did not see you shooting for the stars. They didn't expect you to run for president. They didn't think that you would actually fucking, I don't know, take off. They didn't think that you would make that podcast. They didn't think that you would go off to basic training. They didn't think that you would go off to college. They didn't all these things that they didn't think that you would do, you did, you surpassed, and you did because people cannot put you in a box.
Yeah.
And the sooner everybody realizes that you should not be confined to anybody else's box but the box you put yourself in, the sooner everybody would live a copacetic life because everybody would be popping out the boxes. But you got to be real quiet on the creek, though.
Okay, please.
Amen. Amen. So thank you guys. Thank you, listeners, for tuning in. We appreciate you. And as a matter of fact, while we're talking about growth, we continue to grow these episodes. We continue to see you guys, our following, continue to grow. So we hope you guys enjoy the growth while we are still watering ourselves. Thank you again. Again, we cannot thank you guys enough for tuning in, listening. Make sure you guys stay locked in, following, and subscribed. And until next time, listeners, see you on the flip side. Bye.